up, YouTube? It's your boy Ziggy Doom, man. How is everybody doing? We are on another podcast. We do these things, keep them rolling. I do them for y'all. Y'all listen, and we go from there. February 14th, Valentine's Day has passed, as you all know. How was y'all Valentine's Day? Did y'all get to spend it with the love of your lives? Did you get a lot of flowers, roses, candy, all that good stuff? I think that's what Valentine's Day is. That's the one where it's about love or something. I don't know. When I go to Walmart, I see a bunch of chocolates and hearts. So I figure that's for Valentine's Day. A lot of teddy bears and stuff. So hopefully for people that celebrate that day, they were able to enjoy it and get everything. Maybe some people got proposed to. Maybe some people got broken up with on that day. I mean, that's kind of unfortunate, but it does happen. But hopefully everybody that celebrates that day had a good time, man. Anyway, this podcast, I want to talk about the alpha male. Now, when we hear alpha male, most people just attest it to the guy that's the head of his household, and I guess in charge of making most of the decisions. But I think it's more to it than that. I think an alpha male is something that's instinctive. I don't really think you can learn to be an alpha male. I think you have to just be born with that gift of gab, and everyone isn't. So if you look to nature, like a lion, even gorillas, they have hierarchies, and they have one male that's in charge, and he is the alpha male, and it's instinctive. And there are some that just don't have that ability. They're not as strong, or they may not be as good at it, and some just don't have it at all. So I don't think an alpha male is something that can be taught to a male. You either have it or you don't. And a lot of people, because most guys aren't going to say, I'm not an alpha male. Every guy's probably going to say, I'm an alpha male. Guys ain't really going to say they beta males, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But most guys are going to say they alpha males. But you have to ask yourself, do you really check off certain boxes that an alpha male will check off? So I'm going to talk about a couple things that I think make someone an alpha male. And if you guys, don't agree, you can always leave it in the comments, whatever. This is just open talk. So the main thing about an alpha male, alpha males are dominant. They're dominant. They whatever situation, they will take control of it. They will be in the front of it all the time, always. They don't just stand back and let someone else know. They will always take control of a situation when it comes to what they have going on that pertains to them, right? I'm not saying they finna go in a store and three people can't decide on what color bowl to buy, and they just go over there and, hey, buy that color. I'm talking about with their own situations. And this applies mainly to relationships with the alpha male. Alpha males will be dominant in relationships. They will be the ones that solve the problems. They will be the ones that assess the situations. That's just what they do. And it's not, like I said, it's not something you learn. It's instinctive. They just automatically see a situation, assess it, and control it with confidence. Also, alpha males are confident. Don't get confidence confused with cocky, because a lot of people tend to do that. They say, oh, you're just cocky. See, when you cocky, you're not able to prove what you're saying you can do. You stick your chest out, I'm the greatest, blah, blah, blah. When you can't prove that, then that's being cocky. When you can prove it, it's being confident, whether you have to or not. You say something, you don't have to prove it, but if you can prove it, that's confidence. Now, when you say something and you can't prove it, that could be cocky. So don't get the two confused when it comes to being confident versus being cocky. With regards to relationships, alpha males don't really concern themselves with losing someone. What I mean by that is, stay with me, y'all. When you're an alpha male and you're dominant and you're confident, there are certain things that don't bother you as much as someone who is not as dominant and confident. So let's say you're in a relationship and the woman, you've done everything right in the relationship, and the woman leaves for whatever reason, Alpha males aren't really about to lose a lot of sleep over that. They're not about to be tossing and turning in bed. Oh, why did she leave me? Curled up with a pillow, sipping wine, listening to Ralph Tresvant. They're not gonna do that. It's really simple. It's okay. I've provided for you. I've taken care of you. You, for whatever reason, didn't like it or didn't approve of it, and you want to leave. Okay, you can leave. Alpha males are not about to be no stay. Why you want to go? Give me another chance. Yeah, that is not an alpha male. That right there is definitely a beta male. Beta males will hand in knee a woman leaving them. Alpha males just not doing that. Now, alpha males can be possessive, right? They can be possessive. So when you've worked hard for someone or something, you've earned that. You know, you put your blood, sweat, and tears. You got that. You tend to be a little bit more campy with it than as opposed to something that was just like given to you. So when an alpha male earns something, they can be possessive of it. It's like, hey, that's me. you can't mess with that. That's me. So, and I think it's warranted. I think being possessive sometimes is warranted. If you spend 4 or 5 years saving up and you buy you a brand new car, you're gonna take care of that car. You're gonna value that car. You're gonna be like, hey, don't put a scratch on my car. Don't mess up my car. Whatever. Versus, oh, somebody just here. Every week you get a new car or whatever. You're not gonna really care. It's like, So being possessive sometimes is warranted. It depends on the possession. And alpha males are only going to be possessive over the things that they value, they cherish, and they worked hard for to get. Period. Period. Alpha males give simple choices. Yes or no. Really simple. It's not all that back and forth debating, but why? It's really simple. Either you will do something or you won't. If you will do something, okay. And if you won't do something, that's also okay. Alpha males are just not the bickering back and forth. Why we got it? No, it's just you gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. That falls under that dominance and that assertiveness that alpha males have. And all guys do not have that. They don't. All guys can't, say, hey, you're gonna do this, or you're gonna do that, yes or no. And if it's yes, or if it's no, well, why not? Why no, okay. But there's always consequences to the choices you make, right? Always. So if you say, hey, you're gonna do that, and they say yes, then okay. If they say no, okay, but it's still consequences, and it's real simple. You don't have to go back and forth. And then if it's no, and then there's consequences, and they don't accept the consequences, that's not an alpha male's problem. You had a choice. Do it or don't do it. Either way, consequences. So it's just real simple. Real simple. Alpha males, this one might be a little bit controversial, but alpha males are not really social. And what I mean by that is, yes, the alpha male can go out and mingle and socialize. Absolutely. Right? They can go out and do that. But real alpha males, you're not finna see them in a bunch of pictures with a bunch of guys, just like 15 guys. They just happy every other weekend, 15 guys taking a picture, smiling, holding a beer. Alpha males are usually reserved in certain areas. They enjoy their peace and quiet. They enjoy their alone time. And once again, I'm attesting all this to nature, right? Because I think alpha is instinctive. I don't think you can be born with it. So when you look at nature and you see a lion and you see a gorilla, an ape, whatever, they have their whole group. They not hanging out with a bunch of other lions or apes. It's just them and they whole group. And that's pretty much how they roll. When they get an ape, we gone. And they whole group get up and go with them. But you ain't finna see a whole bunch of lions from different prides. I think it's called pride, y'all. Just hanging the alpha and those prides just hanging together. Let's go walk. It doesn't happen. And so that's why I think alpha males really aren't into the socializing every weekend and every they got pictures with 5 or 6 dudes in them every other day. I don't think that's alpha. Now, There's nothing wrong with that. If that's the type of thing you do, you gotta turn up every weekend and take that's fine. But I don't think alpha males really care to be that social with that many people. Period. Alpha males aren't emotional. Um, so everyone has emotions, everyone has feelings, but alpha males don't hold their feelings on their shoulder. You're not gonna see that. You're not gonna see an alpha male crying and complaining, "Woe is me, my life is so hard. I don't know what to do. I don't understand why is it like this." Alpha males just don't do that. Alpha males, problem, solution, plan. That's it. Everybody got problems, but you can either be part of the solution or you can be part of the problem. If you're gonna sit there and complain all the time, then you're not being part of the solution, you're being part of the problem. So there's a problem. Can it be fixed? Yes or no? How can it be fixed? This, that. Easy. All that other stuff is just not, I think it's wasteful and it's not effective time management. You don't see a lot of alphas out here feeling sorry for themselves. Like, oh God, why can't I get a break? Yada yada. Nah. Alpha males get it done. Now here's one that is kind of like the downside of an alpha male. Alpha males can be jerks or even perceived as jerks because I think an alpha male doesn't really have time to skirt around stuff. They kind of just get to the point. The last person you want to ask, you want them to tell you the truth is probably an alpha. Because if you don't really want to know the truth, you probably shouldn't ask an alpha. Because this is going straight to the point. And ironically enough, women gravitate towards alphas with these characteristics. Once again, if you go to nature, you got the lion, even the walruses. They got they group of women that just boom, bam, pow. And we can say that that's primitive or that's animalistic or whatever. But this is what I've learned. Like a lot of women will say, "Oh, I just want one man that's gonna take care of me, that's gonna be nice, that's gonna wine and dine me." Fair enough. But they also want that man that's just going to take charge. Call it crazy, call it whatever. They want a man that's dominant. Usually. Because you got alpha females too, right? The alpha female and the alpha male, they don't clash well unless one of them submits. One of them has to submit. The alpha male has to submit and become the beta, or the alpha female has to submit and become the beta. But you cannot have two alphas in a relationship. And I don't care what nobody say. I'll down the hill saying that. You can't have an alpha male and an alpha female with the same characteristics in a healthy relationship. It is not going to work. One of them is going to submit. One of them. I've met alpha females, and they may not even know they're alpha females, but the characteristics of an alpha female, they're pretty pronounced. You talk to an alpha female for about an hour and a half, not an hour and a half, I'm tripping. About 10 minutes over, 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a week, whatever. And you can pretty much see the characteristics because they usually not sensitive, not at first. But if you're an alpha and you meet an alpha woman and you dominate and she submits, yeah, she'll become sensitive real quick. That alpha in her will just go away. And vice versa. A woman can make an alpha woman can make an alpha male submit to. Don't think this is just one-sided. But with regards to relationships, here's one, a big one. Alpha males don't need to be in a traditional relationship. They don't need to have a girlfriend or a wife and they function day to day. Alpha males don't need that. If a woman respects you and a woman cares about you and you show that woman dominance, you show her care, concern, and that you can resolve situations and you can make her feel good, you don't need a relationship for that. That a relationship is not required for that. Now, of course, right? Well, what if you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 different women that you're doing this to? Well, here's the thing about that. Women are possessive too. Women are instinctively territorial. They are. It's that's mine. Can't nobody else touch it. It happens in nature too sometimes. But and because a woman is territorial, no matter what status she has with a guy, if she likes that guy, he's hers. That's how she's gonna see it. He mine. What even if there's no titles, we're not in a relationship. We ain't going together. We ain't married. We ain't gotta have kids together. But if that woman likes that man, he makes her feel good. He dominates. He gives her all the all the sprinkles and everything. She's gonna claim that man. That's mine as far as I'm concerned. And she's gonna have a problem with any other woman liking that man, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that woman ain't gonna be okay with that. So as a alpha male who does, because you don't have to be in a relationship to be an alpha male. You do not. Alpha males are very, very independent, but every now and then you don't mind being groomed, right? Getting your hair played with or getting your nails or whatever cut, yada yada yada. But being an alpha male, being in a relationship is not a requirement to be an alpha male. You don't need that. So guys can be married and I'm the alpha male. Well, why are you the alpha male? Because you're married? Because you pay all the bills? Is that it? Is that all that makes you alpha male? Because if you're not an alpha male because you do that, you are a provider. That's what you are. If that's all you do. If you getting emotional, if you're crying, if you have to hang out with 5 or 6 guys every weekend for whatever reasons, you're not really an alpha. Yeah, you can be a provider, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't think you're an alpha just because you're married 15, 20 years and you go home and your wife got the newspaper and the food ready and she makes the bed. That's not an alpha. It's not. Alphas can go in a room and control a room without speaking. Alphas don't have to be loud. Usually the loudest person in the room is probably the most damaged. I need attention, or I need to make people know I'm here. That's just, that's what they usually attest to. Alphas don't have to do that. Why? Why do I have to go in the room and be the loudest one in there? I can speak to everybody in the room in a room, in an indoor voice. Period. And usually when an alpha go in the room, people speak to them. They walk in the room, what's up? I don't, when I go in rooms, I don't speak unless I need to. And it can be considered rude or no manners, yada, yada. But if I'm walking into your house, because it's situational, if I walk into your house, I'm going to speak, right? Your house, you own it, you pay. And I'm walking in, I'm a guest. Hey, how you doing? But if I'm in a community environment that everyone else goes to, nobody owns it, we all just walk into this place together, I'm not finna just walk around and speak to everybody. Now, everybody walk up and speak to me, but I just think that that's something that alpha males don't have to do, because respect is paramount. You will respect the alpha male, or you won't have any kind of communication or interactions with them. Period. The alpha male is not finna tolerate no foolishness. The first sign of foolishness, they're gonna get them up out of there. Gotta go. That's just how that works. Now, with obviously these are my opinions, right? I attest these things to nature because I think alpha male is instinctive, and when something is instinctive, you don't have to be taught to do it. You just do it. It just happens. Some people are natural born leaders. Some people are natural born followers. But a lot of people don't really know the difference, because I ain't never talked to a guy and say, are you an alpha male or a beta male? And they said, oh yeah, I'm definitely a beta male. They'll say, I'm an alpha male. Well, why are you an alpha male? Because you work and pay bills in the house. You're supposed to do that. That's called being a provider. There's a difference. And see, this is what happens with certain truths, because there's 3 types of truths. There's the objective truth, whether you believe it or not, it's the absolute truth. That's the one that gets a lot of people, the objective truth, because it's based on facts, statistics, all that. That's the main one, objective truth. That's the one that is the truth, whether you believe it or not. Then you have your personal truths. This is the one where everyone may think they're alpha male. The personal truth is the one that you have to persuade or use violence to get someone to believe you. Because you want them to believe you. You want to convince people you are alpha male because it's your personal truth. It's not objective because there's no facts, but it's your personal truth. So you are going to use all whatever means you have to persuade someone. Yeah, don't you think I'm an alpha male because look at what I did that week and look at what I did the other day. Don't that make me an alpha male, right? That's personal truth. And then there's political truth. This is the worst one. This the one that just needs to go away quickly. Political truth is the one that if people they say it over and over, it just becomes the truth, right? People say stuff long enough, it actually becomes the truth. Not, it doesn't literally become the truth, but people just believe it as the truth. And that's where like the Mandela effect came from. Like where everyone thought something was one way, but it really was another. And it's just because over time you repeat a lie long enough, over time, people would just accept it as truth. These are the three types of truths. And when it comes to being an alpha male, you have to be true to yourself. You have to look in the mirror and say, am I really an alpha male? Even if your significant other tells you, baby, you're an alpha male, then that's your personal truth. But that doesn't make it the objective truth. What characteristics of an alpha male do you have? Do you walk in rooms and dominate them? Do women gravitate towards you? Do they care about you probably when they shouldn't? Are they able to walk away from you and not come back? Or is it like, man, I don't know why I can't leave this dude alone? Do you have stuff like that? Because you may not be an alpha male. And it's okay to not be an alpha male because everybody can be an alpha male. We need some beta males, right? Beta males are the guys that wake up, fix the breakfast, shovel the snow, good morning, honey, have a nice day at work, cry when they watching the Notebook. And some women like that. It's the sensitive guys that some women like. So it's okay to be a beta male. Not saying nothing's wrong with that. But don't say you're an alpha male just because you work, pay bills, and got a wife, and she cook clean for you. That don't make you that makes you a provider. It's not a bad thing, okay? Because providers don't have to be jerks. I think one of the things of an alpha male is definitely alpha males can be jerks or considered rude, but that's the trade-off. Because at the end of the day, the alpha may be rude or a jerk, but does that cause any women to walk away or move on or leave? So I don't know. But if you think you're an alpha male based off of those characteristics and you have proof of these things, then congratulations. You're an alpha male. And if you don't lose any sleep over it. Don't look at this podcast and say, oh man, all this time I thought I was an alpha male and now I'm not. Boom, boom, boom. Or you can even say, I don't care what that podcast say. I know I'm an alpha male. And it's cool. These are just opinions, people. Opinions based on how I perceive things. And I just look at alpha males and it's like they don't have any problems with situations, don't get all flustered, not really loud, not really social, but they definitely know how to dominate and be assertive. And some people like that, believe it or not. Even with the jerk and the rudeness, some people like it. So whether you're an alpha male or not, at the end of the day, you still want to be a good person. Still want to treat people the way you want to be treated, act accordingly, try to make the world a better place, blah, 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 blah. But that's it for this podcast, man. Just think about it, man. Alpha females have the exact same characteristics, the exact same. So you may be an alpha female and not know it. You may, because women may want to be submissive, right? Just like I want a man that's gonna take charge and make me feel safe and figure out the problems and change the oil and change the tires, you know. But because they're alpha women, they don't get that because and alpha women come from a long they don't happen as often as alpha males. I don't know if that's maybe testosterone or whatever, but when a woman is single and she has to be the sole provider of her and her children, then she has to take on the role of male and female. So that can harden her to, get some of the characteristics of an alpha by design. She gotta fix all the problems. She gotta dominate. She can't be intimidated. She has to go in a room and control it because some people may look at women and think they're weaker, but a woman can't show weakness, so she has to be dominant. It happens, man. I know some alpha females. I know more beta females, but I know some alpha females. So it's a situational thing. Either way, whatever you do in life that makes you happy and you're not hurting anybody, that's what you entitled to, and that's fine. So with that being said, y'all, until the next podcast, be easy.